The Death of the Incredible Hulk, Episode 1, The Cure That Never Came. He spent his entire life searching for a cure for the anger, a cure for the transformations, a cure for the monster living inside him. His name was David Banner, and for years, David Banner believed that if he could just find the right treatment, he could finally separate himself from the Hulk. But when David finally came close to getting the normal life he wanted, everything fell apart. This is the story of the death of the Incredible Hulk. David Banner had spent years running from the Hulk. Everywhere he went, he tried to start over. A new name, a new job, a new city. But eventually, something would happen. David would become angry. Someone would threaten him. Someone would get hurt. And that anger would trigger the transformation. The Hulk would emerge, and once again, David would have to disappear. But David never stopped looking for a cure. That obsession eventually brought him into a dangerous world of espionage. David becomes involved with a woman named Jasmine. For the first time in a long time, David begins to believe that his life might actually be changing. He isn't just hiding anymore. He's trying to build something. And more importantly, he's still searching for a way to control the Hulk permanently. But David's enemies aren't interested in letting him walk away. The situation becomes increasingly dangerous. David is drawn into a final confrontation at an airfield. Spies try to escape in a small plane, and when one of them attempts to run Jasmine down, David knows exactly what is coming. Fear, panic, anger, and then the transformation. The Hulk emerges, but this time, David isn't simply trying to escape. He's trying to protect someone else. The Hulk forces his way onto the plane as it tries to take off. Inside, a desperate struggle ends when a gunshot hits the fuel tank. The plane explodes in midair. The Hulk is thrown from the wreckage and falls hard onto the concrete below. And for a moment, everything becomes strangely quiet. David Banner lies there, the man who spent years searching for a cure, the man who spent years running from the Hulk, the man who wanted nothing more than to live a normal life. He's dying, and there is no miracle cure waiting for him, no final experiment, no scientist arriving just in time, no second chance. David Banner dies, and with him, the Incredible Hulk appears to die as well. But that's what makes this ending so tragic. David never truly defeated the Hulk. He never found a permanent cure. He never got the peaceful life he had spent so many years searching for. Instead, his story ends with one final transformation and one final sacrifice. The Hulk wasn't simply a monster David Banner had to defeat. The Hulk was part of David, a part he feared, a part he hated, and eventually, perhaps a part he learned to accept. For years, David Banner believed that getting rid of the Hulk was the answer. But in the end, the Hulk was there when David needed him most. And that's the tragedy of David Banner. He spent his entire life trying to escape the thing that ultimately became his greatest protector, the Incredible Hulk, a man who couldn't find a cure, a man who couldn't escape his curse, and a man whose story ended with the Hulk. But here's the question. Was David Banner really gone? Because the story of the Hulk was never quite that simple. And in the next episode, we're going to look at what happens when the line between David Banner and the Hulk begins to disappear completely.